Hello everyone and welcome back to the PK Scramble 2024 tournament. I'm Jade Walmar. I'm solo comments today. I'm going to kick these runners off and we are going to see a great race. Alright, so this is going to be Staticpulse versus mcmcGURK, or mcmcGURK versus Staticpulse, depending on what order you say their names in. This is PK Scramble once again. I think everyone who's here that I've noticed in chat is already familiar with what Scramble is. But if you're not, let me know and I will give you the rundown. Alright, it looks like they're off. So, actually before I get started, I have more things to fit with. Right, so this is the Danger Bracket Finals, or the first of the two, because the way that double elimination tournaments work is a little confusing to name things on. And what we have for today is a PK Scramble seed with a couple of extra flags, the first of which you can already see signs of. It's Accelerated Enemy Shuffle. So the way that that works is it's going to go through all... Game audio is loud. Well, I blame GURK for that. Let me, wait, no I don't. I blame Staticpulse for that. Let me tweak that a little. Let me know if that's better, and we will continue onwards. Yeah, so this is Accelerated Enemy Shuffle. What that means is we're going to go through all of the enemies in roughly vanilla order. It gets a little... It's a little funny with the Jeff side quest. His stuff gets kind of mixed in with the other things. But it goes through all the enemies in the game, and they're going to appear in order. Thanks, Charles. So the enemies are going to appear roughly in the order that they would appear in a normal run. Now, that might sound not randomized, but because this is a key item randomizer, the order they'll be going through the game is not the normal order. So if the next place they are expected to go to is Summers, then Summers is going to have the next set of enemies, not the Summers enemies. Now, that whole description was basically the description for progressive enemy shuffle, but this is accelerated enemy shuffle. So what that's going to do is it's going to skip enemies so that roughly at the time that you get to Gygas, it'll get to the end game enemies. Now it's going to skip enemies at random, so maybe more of the end ones or more of the beginning ones or more of the pyramid ones get skipped. So it's not, you know, perfectly clear exactly where you are, but still pretty roughly, like that's a black Antoid on mcGURK's side. That's going to be a little further in because we, you know, this is giant step enemies. These are after on-it enemies and on-it mountain enemies, sharks. Also up on the mountain we saw a Mad Duck. That's a Jeff quest enemy. Those are really early too. But yeah, they're going along through these in this accelerated enemy shuffle order. Now, it's not perfectly accurate. It might go until a little past Gygas. I don't know why. And yeah, that's how accelerated enemy shuffle works. In addition to that, we have accelerated boss shuffle, which works exactly the same way, but it's for the bosses. And finally, we've already seen a little bit of the signs of this, but we have Cursed Enemies 1 enabled. So that means that every type of enemy in the game is going to have one little special rude thing added. It can be just bonus stats. We saw the Antoids in Lost Underworld had UFO movement. It can be all sorts of fun little rude things. So both of these are kind of challenging flags, a little combat-oriented. Accelerated enemy shuffle is a mixed bag. It's going to mean that you kind of have a hint where you're supposed to be going, but it also means you're going to be pretty much guaranteed to be seeing those difficult late-game enemies. Right, and with that entire spiel and doing all of the admin, I have completely lost track of where they are. Chat, help me out. I see that we have Foresight. I saw that there was a police bench. I don't know what their other teleport is. Lost Underworld, and I don't know what the other early items are. Well, that's a dog over at the arcade. If that is a desert wolf, that's very deep. But if that's just a regular dog, then it's not. Trillionage at badge. Yeah, that means that's a little bit deeper in. Trillionage is... what is that? A little over a quarter, a little less than a half. Closer to a quarter than a half of the way through the game. Spook and Guardian Digger. I think that suggests that that dog is not a dog, but instead a wolf. Way back at the start of this game, those, that was the sprite for Diamond Dog, because there's not any Diamond Dog sprite in the game normally. So when I see a dog on the overworld that's not running around acting like a dog, I'm instantly like, oh, that's Diamond Dog, watch out. But no, that's not how that works anymore. Since it hasn't worked that way in like 2 years. 3 years? It's been a while. Right, so we're both into Moonside. Staticpulse is further into the moon. We have finally stopped having moon modes for the weekly, so get back into the weekly if that was turning you off of it, and if you like moon mode, then you should start a moon mode tournament. I think there's something there. Speaking of tournaments, the Ancient Cave Randomizer tournament is going to be starting up. Their qualifier seeds will be dropping on Friday. Hop into the Earthbound Speedrun Discord to find out more about that. Ancient Cave is a completely different randomizer. It predates PK Scramble. It's very, very different. It is much more combat-oriented. It's a little more confusing, but it's also very interesting and well-constructed randomizer. We're blessed to have 2 different randomizers in this community. Staticpulse finding a duck in Forside. So that's the intended start, is just ducks over here too. Looks like GURK has decided to finish the Moonside quest, but not actually do it because it looks too difficult. And going along with it being too difficult, gonna pick up this item, which is just food. It's just a protein drink. Yeah, department store is pretty reasonable in this sort of situation where you have early Forside and not a clear start. mcGURK kind of likes to do it. Oh, he was just safety saving. He wasn't, what's going on here? Yeah, no, you're just gonna die. Did he have trouble with the warp out? Does he just want death warp? I don't know what GURK's thinking. Probably should be paying more attention. And Staticpulse is onto the Mole Cave. Good old abridged Mole Cave in a lovely shade of purple. Oh, there's a rappel sandwich up in Tracy's room. There's a... you take the death, you can go check the room, I guess. And it looks like it's going to be carpenters, 5 of them. This early in the seed, you don't really need to check what's in mines. Like, all of these checks that are open are very likely to be required. It's a question of what order they're required in, but even the higher scaled arcade that we have at this beginning, like, that's not so deep in that you're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it at the start. Now, one thing to watch out for, speaking of higher scales, is if we do see a mixture of enemies from very different parts of the game, because Accelerated Enemy Shuffle removes enemies to get you to those late game ones before Gygus, it has to do something with the rest, and it just kind of reverts to random afterwards. So once you see those randoms, that is post-Gygus, so to watch out for that. I don't think they should have a way to just dip into that. There don't seem to be enough branches available for them to suddenly find endgame stuff, but it does happen occasionally. I should add the ability to drink mayonnaise to Pikachu. Actually, I think you can't. Is there a mayo in the condiments? Because if you can, you can totally drink it. You can drink a ketchup packet. More repel sandwiches. Looks like it's going to be a nice, clean end game once they get to do it. Three enemies down here. I'm kind of surprised that I haven't noticed earlier, and also that this early in the game is already 3 enemies. Like, this seems to be the first check. So, like I said, Accelerated Shuffle is going to skip enemies to do it. And it's possible that it just skips a whole lot in, apparently, Peaceful Rest Valley. It's also in order of the enemy's level in-game, which is a little funny. The level stats pretty solid, but it's also a little goofy. Near the end game, there's some weird ones. The Deep Darkness enemies are really spread out through all of the areas that they could be in. A lot of love for Stardew Valley in the chat. I've been really tempted to make a Stardew Valley randomizer. It's on my big list of randomizers I want to make. And keep telling myself not to make more randomizers. We got simultaneously killing different carpenters. And it looks like, judging by the music, the Staticpulse has finished. It's also one of the carpenters that you tend to do last. I think Stardew Valley could really use a randomizer for the, what is it called? The community center, where it's designed to try to finish it out in like an hour for a race. Similar to how PK Scramble trims this down to about an hour for a race. Alright, I'm gonna have to guess that their item was Tenderkraut, which means that they could have gotten the Spinosaur cutscene and both neglected to do it. That's a tragedy. So this is just gonna be a teleport. It should be progression, judging by how much later everything else was. Saturn Valley. I misread that as Stardew Valley, thanks to the discussion in chat. Good job, chat. Okay, pendants here. Always good to see. Really good items here. I think Static's probably gonna have to come back later, making the right decision to get that minor league bat now, and hopefully the other right decision to get that okay pendant later. Looks like Static's going to take this opportunity to do Fire Springs. Might just want some extra levels. Now, is that small league bat better or worse than the minor league bat? More 3'd enemies in this cave, so I guess this is apparently logically next or just before the mole cave. Oh, it's Smiling Sam, that's the highest level 3'd enemy, so this is definitely later. I say definitely. There's too much randomness in this for me to be that certain. Looks like there's some sprouts in here too. If we see one of those sprouts, we'll know for sure whether this was before or after Multiple Logic. Meanwhile, Gurk's going into Sand Valley, gonna take that meteorite piece hint, so let's all laser focus and see which one of us can actually manage to read it. Okay, it's somewhere in Happy Happy Village. I think that's the cabin kit item. And McGurk's has a completely slammed inventory. I would have considered just leaving that repel sandwich and coming back later. Like, you're going to be back to Saturn Valley. Would I remember to check it again? Probably not. Alright, so Static's gotten first Sanctuary done. They will both have to do at least 4 of them eventually. GURK's finding out. So that's one of the curses that is available, is for something to Rainbow of Colors into an earlier enemy. That's a mean combo, going into something that explodes. And we found the mole. It's not where we expected. This is after Mole Cave. Surprisingly deep enemies already. I don't see accelerated shuffle too much. I don't turn it on very often, but this feels more accelerated than normal. Must have just dropped a lot of enemies from Peaceful Rest Valley. Ooh, that is a mean fight. I don't think you're gonna make it. Thankfully that is the second fight there. It does remember which one you did. I don't think I knew that as a kid, and I know that I definitely died to Frankenstein as a kid, so I must have been resetting out of it. McGURK gets the second walk of shame out of the house for never having saved it again. The first one, maybe that's a strategic way to go visit Tracy, get that present. Second one, that's the walk of shame. And that is a gross enemy group that McGURK has found. A whole bunch of scorpions and a trillion-inch sprout. Now this is considered logically earlier than what Staticpulse is doing. I think that Mook is probably beatable if it's not second in a boss gauntlet. It's a good, big judgment call to decide which one to do. It looks like GURK's not having nearly as much trouble. These are actually quite a bit earlier logic, like in the normal game progression, so it does make sense that you could go do this. Oh, and they're all dropping Supormas. I didn't notice that. So that's probably the best curse, is the enemies drop Supormas. It's really just wasting your time. It's just rude. But it is really rude. You cannot drop the Suporma. You must use it to make it go away, just to add to that little bit of extra annoyance. Yeah, dropping a ton of Supormas is a great addition to already having a completely slammed inventory, because this is a solo nest seed. Yeah, cool. You can hop into comms if you want. Also, there's scorpions in the trillion fight, which is great. You just get extra cops in your cop fight, except the cops are scorpions. Alright, and GURK is first through the cops fights. Still has to remember to drop all of those Supormas that they're dropping. There's a 2/3 chance of getting a Suporma in this fight, thanks to Earthbound mechanics. Let's see if Staticpulse also gets one. What's up, Cool Ball? You're muted if you don't know.
Oh, am I? Whoops. Okay,
Welcome.
How's it going?
It's good. This race is still kind of going. We're 20 minutes in, and they haven't made too much of a dent in it yet.
Yeah, well, yesterday's race was pretty long, so hopefully we have another, or not hopefully, but probably another longer seed, I think. The curses, I think, tend to do that, so.
Yeah, these flags slow them down a bit. Chose a little bit harder flags. We're so deep into the tourney that we need to kind of give them a challenge so that we have a nice hour worth of enjoyment instead of like a 30-minute seed. What do we do with the rest of the afternoon?
Yes, when it's GURK and Staticpulse, yeah, you have to make the flags really hard. Otherwise, they're going to be done.
Yeah.
Definitely, easily
On
50
the
minutes.
sign-up sheet.
Hi, Mad Cat.
Hello.
Sorry, what's
No, that's
it?
fine. We got all the cool people in chat today. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, in the sign-up sheet, I asked everyone, is it okay if there's curses? And some people said no, which is completely reasonable. And some said one's okay, and some said like two would be fine, or like I think Sarah's was one's fine, two would need a counterbalance. And I really pushed it a little by giving them one curse and accelerated enemies, which is kind of a curse on its own.
It is.
It is surprisingly mean flag. I don't think it would actually count it as quite a full curse level of difficulty, though.
No, no, yeah, it's in between regular and yeah, it's just like regular flag with a 30% extra meanness, maybe.
I'll take that estimate. That seems. I know somewhere.
As a scientist,
somewhere
I'm
in
probably
the code,
accurate.
The Sanchez brothers have an estimate of how mean this flag is somewhere. You can go find out.
Oh,
what
that's
they
cool.
Yeah, that's how they work. Is they have a difficulty, length, and randomness for all of the flags, and they try to set it to their preferences by fiddling with the dials at random.
Well, I did miss the first couple of minutes, and I wasn't able to watch until just before I hopped on. So, are we pretty tied up so far, would you say, or?
As far as I've been able to figure it out, talking rather than paying attention, it was a 4-side start, and Lost Underworld. Staticpulse did Fire Springs. I don't think GURK did. They've run into a lot of difficult checks. All of the on-it ones were kind of deep into the game. Mines was first. Staticpulse is once again trying to clear out on it. Yeah. Yeah, and that's just the Sharks fight. Both runners kind of struggling to find some purchase. A lot of sideways checks that you don't really want to do as things that I think the logic expects. Sanctuaries, department store, that sort of thing. Did GURK actually buy the OK pendant on that second shopping trip? Because I think actually going back and buying that pendant would be a great idea for dealing with department store spook.
Mm-hmm. There it says, Solo Nest versus an enemy with hypnosis. Fun.
Oh, yeah.
Good point, yep.
Yeah, the logic, scaling logic doesn't take that into account at all. I don't think Earthbound would either, so whatever.
What is the defense item that is against? Is Coin of Slumber protect you against hypnosis?
Against hypnosis? Only the really high-level armbands do. Yeah, Pixie's bracelet and up. And they all also make you vulnerable to brain shock because those are just the same stat reversed for some reason. I guess staying up all night makes you a little kooky.
Staying up all night makes what?
It makes it a little easier if you get confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is definitely a thunder and storm.
Which doesn't 30 HP damage. Ooh. Intertwining's bad.
Yeah, Intertwining's very strong. It's the strongest melee attack. Alright, and GURK finishes Fire Springs. Yeah, it looks like both runners are just kind of doing whatever checks available to get some experience. Oh, and a rainbow of colors.
No!
That is maximally rude.
Oh, and only 6 PP left. Yikes.
Yeah, so at least this, unlike Diamond Dog, this rat should be easier than the enemy that it came from, but I don't think that's much of a consolation. That's...
Oh my gosh. Come on, Static. Come on, Static.
Come on, Static.
Oh!
Cat's got a knife. So, for anyone coming back in on ad break, McGURK finished up Fire Springs. Staticpulse found out that Thunder and Storm has the Rainbow of Colors curse and turned into the Plague Rat of Doom.
Curses.
Just one.
Am I right?
Just curse.
Oh, curse. Well, I mean, I was saying, like, you know, the expression, like, curses.
Yes.
Yeah, Mad Cat. I mean, yeah, but the rat was probably almost dead. Okay, going back.
Right, so we're back to this. It's probably the progression. It's just difficult because it has hypnosis. It looks like Staticpulse is taking advantage of the fact that the enemy's AI gets scripted. So I saw him queuing up a heal when he already knew it was coming in. Kind of cool. Oof. Yeah, I think the OK pendant might be helpful. I don't know if either of them have picked it up yet. We do know where one is. There's also the department store, which might have been a play at this point.
Mm-hmm. So they have foresight access?
Yes, they have foresight access.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is the first. And I think neither of them have finished Moonside. I think that's where Thunder and Storm was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Thunder. And then we saw the desert, too. Actually, as I said that, I was like, when Static dies, he ends up back in the shack. So
that's a good choice of place to put your revive, too. Of the places that are available, that's like the quickest teleport out.
Mm-hmm.
So we found
okay, pendant. Ooh.
McGURK's taking another death. So this is the actual location of Plague Rat of Doom.
Man, seeing these two runners like die is just weird because they're so good that they usually don't.
Yeah, yesterday's race also had a lot more deaths than we expect from the top runners. I guess these really are some challenging flags. If you enjoy watching runners die repeatedly, the Ancient Cave Tournament is starting up on Friday, so make sure to join into the qualifiers for that. It is much meaner than Scramble, and it's still a good time. Thank you, Red Cat.
Shadow. What is GURK's theme with his
It's Cats. The musical.
Oh. Okay.
I only recognize the names of the characters from Cats because McGURK has used this name set a few times.
Oh, the family cats. The family cats?
The family cats? Cats.
I've never seen Cats the musical, so
I have not seen the musical. I've watched Lindsay Ellis complain about the musical. Does that count?
No, but I did watch, like, 'cause I saw when they came out with like the remake a couple years ago, and then they like photoshopped in like the cat beeholes.
Oh no.
Into everyone.
I remember there was a meme about, or at least the butthole cut.
Yeah.
Speaking of butthole, looks like McGURK just picked something up from Mayor B.H. Perkle.
Woohoo! It stands for...
How's that for a segue?
10 out of 10, I gotta say. Yes, there's the great debate. Does it stand for butthole or does it stand for bald head?
Yeah, I think it actually is bald head, but you know, you can put whatever you want in there.
That's right. Pencil eraser, off we go. PRV.
A couple years back.
Finally, an easy enemy. Was that?
Oh, I was gonna say a couple years back there was a leak of the game's original localization files. Oh, Fly Honey or Zombie Paper is in Moonside, so that is a hint. So they released the localization files, and it has names for a lot of unnamed characters. Um, I don't remember what BH Purgle's official one is, but it did like figure out which one of the Runaway Five is which, and what the keyboardist's name is, which is just Keyboard.
Oh, it's not Lucky. I thought it was Lucky.
Lucky is the Luigi-looking one.
Oh gosh, am I even a real fan? Can't believe I didn't know that. Fake fans.
I could have gotten it wrong too. I'm pretty sure Gorgeous is the Mario-looking one, Lucky is the tall one, and I forgot the rest. Staticpulse is buying eggs.
Eggs.
Egg.
Oh, okay.
Alright, mcGURK is making some progress. Finally got this character, which I believe has the meteorite piece. So mcGURK finally has extra inventory space. Looks like he's choosing to put all of the repels on Pooh. I didn't see if he was moving all of the key items onto Pooh or away from Pooh, but it was one or the other. Staticpulse already has the meme cutscene.
Appropriate.
Yeah, so I think Static might be thinking that it needs money and is actually chicken farming for money. Which, wow. Wouldn't have even considered that as a thing to not expect, honestly.
It's when you just keep losing fights.
Yeah.
Because the curses.
At least you don't lose money from fights anymore.
Or with easy deaths, losing 50% of your cash on hand.
Or the eggs just for eating? Who eats a fresh egg? They could turn into a chicken.
Well,
fascinating.
I kind of thought that too, Sarah. But, you know, I don't know. I didn't pay too close attention to that last time when he went back to just fight the department store spook, but it seemed to go way faster.
Yeah, maybe it was the eggs. Get that protein.
The power of eggs.
Yeah.
Egg power.
I guess maybe it was just on the way. Like, if I was just looking for healing food items, I'd go to a food store. But I guess that's an extra door transition, so maybe eggs are the play. And suddenly we have 3 party members. Solo Ness is no more.
He threw away the pizza and chose to keep the egg.
And now he has a chick. I can hear it. Shield Killer, Picnic Lunch, PSI Caramel. There's one good one in there.
I think the final evolution of eggs is actually egg salad.
I think it's a branching evolution path, really. Like, you can go down the mayo route or all the way over to chicken bones.
Touché.
I think it's going to be full party very soon for mcGURK. It was very funny to have Solo Ness instantly into 4 kids with no combat between.
I know.
So it looks like mcGURK is just a little in the lead. don't think that Staticpulse has any sanctuaries on him anymore either. And we've got the bus. An intentional bus? We haven't seen any unintentional buses this tournament. We have seen an unintentional boat ride, though. That's good. Oh, it's a chicken.
Well, I don't know if the boat ride was unintentional. I think it was, I guess,
Intentional but mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I like how the meta for this cutscene has went from, oh, just do the front because I forgot to program in the check from the back, and then was like, oh, actually use the back because then you can slip behind Venus really quickly.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, if you check from the behind, then you just go right and you don't run into Venus, and you can get to the door really easily. It's probably faster to do the front and dodge her, but it's easy to not.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about that in tournaments before, but I didn't know the lore behind it or kind of how that came about. I always go in front of the desk because it always just seems like it's faster.
It's kind of funny when they overlap you in the cutscene.
Front is faster in 2. Yeah, I knew Sarah would have the answer. Back is faster in 4 side. Okay. You get stuck inside Venus's sprite in front. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out. There's, like, in the game's internal scripting language, there's like a check what direction you're facing the sprite with thing for that. And I could not get that to work at all when I was recoding those cutscenes. Drawer free.
Ooh, Franklin badge. Let's see. I guess you... Attic didn't get Paula yet.
Did not. Might think this is Paula. So Paula was over at... Wait, where was Paula? Dalam? I assume he has the teleport, just hasn't done it yet, so... Yeah, just a different order of cleaning up all of these checks that they unlocked at once. Kind of cool that GURK decided to go buy something from the arms dealer because he knows he just has Jeff and needs an item for it. Ooh, red swirl. Also might have been a good place to go check the actual shop, just because they went through so many other places before getting it. Those are probably new high-level items. That's probably the highest level shop that they've unlocked.
Mm.
And a bazooka.
Nice.
Oh, and a Mr. Molecule. It's a little ominous. This is accelerated shuffle, though, so we're expecting to see those endgame enemies by the end of the game. And just in time for what I was about to say, the Mr. Molecules are, like, weirdly low level compared to the other Magicant things, probably because they're, you know, not that threatening. So they are going to end up somewhere earlier. Probably not Pyramid early, but the accelerated bosses and accelerated enemies aren't in sync in any manner, so it is possible just for them to end up with, you know, this Pyramid boss and later enemies. Yogurt dispenser.
No thanks.
That's a slow check. It is an item check though, so.
So he has Monkey Invitation, and let's see. So they've done Giant Step, Fire Springs.
And I think he's on the way.
Has anybody done Lilliput?
I don't
Okay,
think so,
so
but I think mcGURK's probably just about to. I'm gonna buy some BFLs first. Yeah, I think they have 3 accesses. I just need the item to get the last one. I would do Monkey Cave. I mean, I would do Lilliput first, but I would do Monkey Cave.
Me too. Gurk definitely has these 2 guys definitely have it memorized, I'm sure.
Fly Honey, Banana, or Carrot Key would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Monkey Cave has a teleport on it, which could be Winters, which is like a free item, so it's also a decent chance at a double check there. Also another Sanctuary that could be for the next one.
Caterpillars.
Caterpillars and dudes. Looks like mcGURK does not like the sound of that and decides to use a repel early.
That's interesting. The dude, he insta won on a green swirl. It was only 303 experience, which makes me think that this is not like a high level thing, but I don't know. We'll see. I didn't see what the other one trick yo-yo, you know.
I don't know the yo-yo scales at all. Looks like Staticpulse took a death to that tent.
A second. Yeah, so this is second sync.
Yeah, so not that deep. Kind of wild that second Sanctuary already has Summer's enemies. It's like halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is kind of fun about Accelerated Enemy Shuffle is it's one of the flag sets that'll actually let you see Gruff Goats and Evil Eyes, which aren't in any of the shuffleless ones. So, oh, there was a teleport to oh, yeah, mcGURK already had that. That's where that teleport came from. So Alex didn't get that Paula. So, anyway, what is this to say? Anyone in chat, get your guesses in into whether or not there'll be an Evil Eye this seed. Very rare enemy in Scramble.
Oh, Evil Eye.
Evil
Eye. Yeah, Evil Eye is up there with my least favorite enemies.
Because
hopefully not.
Because of their attacks or because they're creepy looking?
Both. Well, because they diamond eyes. They're so late. Like, yeah, what do? They diamond eyes. What else do they do?
Brain Shock Omega, Hypnosis Omega, and Paralysis Omega, I think.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, Brain Shock never works, but
at that point in the game it does, because you have those good armbands. I guess it won't in Scramble. Oh, it's a double barf. We've all had days like that. Looks like
or Starstorm when you need it.
Seriously, and using that BBR on one of them. But not focusing down just one. It's split. Oh, okay. Of course, this has a very long death cutscene on these, so his kids are gonna roll down while he does it. Yeah, we get to the Pooh doesn't like gross out humor twice in a row.
Or Lewis.
Or Lewis.
Yeah, unconscious. Still being like, I'm still flipping out, even though I'm unconscious.
And who hasn't been there before? And that was a Carrot Key, which I think is Final Sync access.
Whoop. Well, that kind of tied things up, huh?
I think Static still has at least a Sanctuary to go. I could be wrong.
Oh, that's right. He hasn't done the Lilliput yet.
There you go. I don't know if he did Giant Step, but he might have.
He did, yeah. He did.
And dropping a Casey Bat, which is vanilla. I think you should lick the bat and find out what flavor it is when it came off of Extra Barf.
Will he do the trial of nothingness? After yesterday, I don't think I would go to Gygus.
Oh, yeah? Yesterday the Gygus
Personally,
play
but
panned out.
it did, but it was questionable. That could have just been because it was Starman Deluxe.
Oh yeah. The special Gygus curse was Mushroom Eyes. That was a fun one. It didn't seem to
Oh
really
yeah.
get Jargles at all, though.
But for the average, well, I guess these players aren't average. Me, personally, I would be scared. But I don't have the skills that Charles and Gurk and Static have, so.
Yeah, I don't find Gygus too bad, but I definitely prepare way more than has become the meta. Oh, looks like extra hard-hitting attacks is the curse for the evil elementals. They are swinging their tail very hard.
No! And I would not want to get hit with that tail.
I wouldn't know that you could get hit by it, but if you could, then that would be bad.
It's a tail doubling as a leg, and yeah, all Underworld and Fire Springs enemies. So what sank is this then?
Fourth, I guess.
Just fourth? So what are the enemies in like beyond that, I wonder?
Magic Ant enemies, On at Night enemies, and
Oh,
what
Cave of the Past.
Cave of the Past enemies. Likely in Cave of the Past, and probably slightly after because of why ever this flag does. There's orbs in here. I don't know why this flag tends to overshoot, but it does.
Oh, red on static side. Bogus.
Extra red. So the Master Criminal Worm actually ends up scaling as not quite as bad as the green caterpillar. So it's got the very weak fire. Oh, and a power shell.
Oh! Stupid caterpillar.
The background on mcGURK's side is giving him like stream choppiness issues. We found a new one that goes beyond the encoder.
That's a good background though.
A little loud. Alright, fourth sank. Well, we know that Starman Deluxe won't be the Gygus assistant.
Yep. Oh, did he only get... Oh, no, that was the ghost that caused 1 HP damage.
Oh, yeah. Those ghosts can actually hit surprisingly hard if you get them super early in the game.
Okay, Stellar Drizzle hitting for just about 40. That's not too bad. That's really not that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I think the scaling is just trying to not one-shot Paula at whatever level it is. So, could be worse. Could probably go all the way up to Starstorm Iota. Oh, and he did manage to evaporate a tiny ghost with those attacks. And they both cleared a Sanctuary at the same time. Remote high five.
Whoop. Answer Ben, nice. Oh, Mr. Saturn coin's better.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't really know Ribbon versus Coin at all. The coins by themselves are already kind of, like, strangely named and hard to remember the order they're in. It is true, ribbons tend to be good. They tend to be better than the coin available at the point in the game that they show up, which Scramble copies the distance into the game that things are, so tends to be the same. Looks like GURK never did finish
Wait,
that step.
oh,
So...
he died. That was the rat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they both had like multiple runs at multiple sanctuaries and died on some of them and didn't on others, so I kind of lost track. I guess they're pretty much even then. Maybe advantage Staticpulse if this is his last sanctuary. This is a very short sank.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did GURK absorb the power of the land? I didn't see the text flash, but I guess this is why.
Yeah, hasn't finished this one. Having a hard time with those enemies in this cave, too. Just lots of sentry robots.
Oh, not a real butterfly. Dang it. You never know, because that is kind of like a spot that butterflies like to hang out.
Oh, yeah.
Right
you gotta,
there.
like, stop and watch its movement. You're like, is that a butterfly?
Oh. Is it zooming or not? The tension! Okay, I'm gonna cut the tension with a knock-knock joke.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm so ready. Bring it.
Okay, knock-knock.
Who's there?
A little old lady.
A little old lady who?
I didn't know you could yell.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Sorry, I laugh at my own jokes. I can't. I'm terrible. A little old lady. A little old lady. I didn't know you could yodel.
Hey, cool.
So everybody listening, put that in your pocket. Yes.
What's brown and sticky?
What's brown and sticky? I don't know.
A stick.
Oh my gosh. Take notes, people.
What's orange and sounds like a parrot?
I don't know what.
A carrot.
I haven't heard that one.
What's green and brown, has 4 legs, and will kill you if it falls on you from out of a tree? You okay with this one?
Tell me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like having a laughing attack. I just.
So the answer to what is green and brown,
yes,
has 4 legs, and will kill you if it falls on you from out of a tree, is a pool table.
Oh my god. No, it reminds me of that joke where it's like the one where it's like, what? Like black and white and red all over. People say like well, no, they're like a nun in a blender. A nun in a blender, which is horrible, but...
What's black and white, black and
anyway.
white, black and white, black and white, and black and white, and red all over? A penguin rolling down a staircase. Poor
there
penguin.
you go. Poor penguin, poor nun. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry everybody. I just didn't mean to lose my composure. I guess I'm a little tired. And I love jokes. I'm susceptible to brain shock. I'm susceptible to brain shock and knock-knock jokes.
Pretty much the same thing. Alright, so GURK's really preparing
More
for
or less.
the Gigas. See lots of revive items coming out of here. Selling
He's
stuff
choosing
make room
to
for
keep...
more horns.
Well, but he's choosing to keep the peanut cheese bar, interestingly, so...
And if you really want to go, like, full prep, then having one, like, piggy jelly or peanut cheese bar or whatever is actually good. But did he get OK pendants? Staticpulse did.
He got 2.
Oh, there you go.
Unlock.
Stunlock store. Oh, it keeps going. Oh, yeah. Makes sense. It looks like GURK's gonna be heading into the Gigas. The GURKus. So, I think, as soon as we see that robotomy cutscene, it's time to guess who's the assistant gonna be. So it's accelerated enemy shuffle. It should be a late game enemy. This should be easier than usual. But we were all certain that it was heavily armed pokey last time, and it was not. So get your guesses in. I'm still gonna guess it's heavily armed pokey. How about you, Cool?
Oh. What about Frankenstein? Have we seen him?
We haven't, but it's very unlikely to be Frankenstein.
Why?
It's accelerated boss shuffle, so it's probably a late game boss.
Oh. Yeah, there's that.
I would say Electrospectre.
Yeah, Electrospectre. We've
We've
already seen Master Barf.
Yeah, it can't
Can't be Diamond Dog.
be Diamond Dog. That's not allowed. Can't be Nightmare. It's not allowed. So it's probably between Spectre and heavily on Pokey. But there's always chances one that I've forgotten.
All right. Kat and I were going Spectre.
All right, I'll go Pokey. Say in chat too, so everyone knows.
So the winner of this
Let's go up against Sarah.
go up against Sarah. Ooh.
Yeah, kind of a
And the
dubious
loser
prize. I wouldn't want to have to go up against Sarah. And the loser gets eliminated. This is the danger bracket. Oh, are we doing the thing?
I think we're doing. The loser has to listen to me tell them a knock joke and laugh way too hard at it.
Ooh. Rough.
Yeah. Yeah. But, all right, let's see.
Oh, you got it. It's
Oh,
Spectre.
Team Spectre. What? The loser has to be Kat's fake student for a video assignment. Okay, well.
Okay, don't do that. I'm getting missed signals from Kat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and swap audio to GURK.
Was that Shield Alpha?
Do that right.
I wasn't sure. No, Lewis. No, Martin. Uh-oh.
This looks pretty rough.
Yeah.
What if he has enough, like, revive items and stuff on Parallel to... Oh yeah, Spectre on Gygus is really nasty because of the double reflection shields. Oh. Staticpulse found an enemy in here. Is it the Evil Eye? Nope. Hey, GURK's taking a nope out on the first try.
Yeah. Good job, GURK. I would have.
GG, good GURK.
Yeah, good GURK. GG.
Yeah, there's a lot of one item away sanctuaries, so really anything could get him to that 5 cent access. I think this is tent check.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how Static fares.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen a one-try Gygus bounce, but I mean, without assistant, I can't really blame him. That's a really rough one. Not bashing for much against Shroom.
Yeah, just 30.
That's a good point in chat from Sarah. If you have Shield Sigma, it would be a lot easier. And one of the things that you can do to grind for levels is to also dig for sanctuaries. Because the deeper in you get, the more experience you get. So you might find the sanctuary item, or you might just get enough levels. Yeah, Shield Sigma might be a good choice for this. That's a good call. One of the reasons where I don't find Gygus as threatening as you do is because I would grind for Shield Sigma.
Absolutely. Yeah, Static already did the tent. I forget what was in there.
Oh, I see some cursed enemies in the bottom.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. Snake
Okay.
Eyes. Seems like Girk's going right back to Sound Valley. I didn't see if that got him the level that he needed, but maybe it did. Or maybe he just wants to heal that mushroom. Interesting. So, Sarah says that with the accelerated enemy shuffle, Shield Sigma helps a lot with possible assistance. It's like 2/3 of them, right? If it's Spectre, Starman, and Pokey.
And I saw Static trying to use Shield Alpha, just like shielding Paula, then shielding Ness, and then.
Yeah.
But by the time you've shielded one and made one attack, it's like takes forever to get past the fight because your 3 hits on the shield run out.
Yeah. And there's a thunder enemy here too, so.
Oh yeah, yep. So
you're really just plowing through those shields. Looks like Girk's ready for an extra attempt. I didn't see whether he got Shield Sigma, but whatever he got seemed to be enough for him to think it's time to go again. I should have turned safe house or safe boss placement off. That would have been fun. For this flag, had a really high chance of having Carbon Dog or Ness's Nightmare in that slot.
Oh yeah, for the next round you gotta.
Oh yeah. That flag barely does anything without accelerated bosses, because what are the chances it's going to be one of them? But...
Yeah, true.
Orb. Those butterflies aren't real.
No.
Alright, Girk's ready for the run back. What did he do to prepare, and was it enough? It was Shield Sigma. Is it enough?
Yeah. It kind of worked.
That was a full-strength Thunder Beta. The biggest Thunder that the vanilla game will ever really give you. Also, like, the only one the vanilla game will ever try on you.
Only Thunder?
But yeah, all the Crashing Boom Bangs and Static Shock Attacks and Thunder Betas are all Thunder Beta. I think there's one enemy with Thunder Gamma in, like, Lumine Hall, maybe? And then...
Because that, like, doubles the damage, right? Doesn't it? Once it gets to Theta? The damage doubles or triples or something?
I can't remember if it's double or triple. It's a lot. And then also 3 strikes. I think it's double and it hits 3 times.
Sarah says there's some alphas. Who, the eel maybe? Or no, is the eel?
The guide says that the eel...
Yeah.
A bunch of the guides say the eel is alpha, but it's not. There's no alphas. Or there's no static shock attacks or whatever that are alphas. That might be the PSI.
Well, we're on to phase 2 for GURK, so here we go.
Alright. Made it to phase 2. Kind of rough shape, but not the worst I've seen. Let's see if he can stabilize. The confusion on Paula is not great, because she's a very good damage dealer.
Yep. Those are kind of hitting for a lot.
Yeah, that's a strong freeze.
114 to Lewis. Poo.
Poolis. Defending on Paula would consider prey strats, honestly. So that could just make even more people confused.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. You never know. It could bring Jeff back from the dead, or everybody could end up worse off.
And the Gygus Flash made it so that Ness can't concentrate. That's the nicest of the options for Flash Beta Nerf.
That's not good.
Alright, so we're on to the prayer phase. McGurk has to hang in here with Gygus and waste ball his turn 9 times to
Oh.
beat the game. And this is a cursed seed. There's 1 curse, so Gygus will have something on him. The options are, I think increased speed is on the table, which is nothing. Having Gygus's 1 wasted turn move replaced with something mean, or the special Gygus curses, which are the most likely option. There's a bunch of different things that happen right after you pray. They're all really mean. We'll see if one of them is in here.
Come on, Lewis, brain shock. Okay, cool.
Yeah, brain shock helps a lot. If you have a... Did you get it?
Yeah.
I heard the horn. I didn't know if it was on the right face. The Stoic Club prayed for Shadow and his friends. Wow, double solidify.
Oh,
that's rough luck.
Dude, these phrases are brutal.
Yeah, so the boss scripts... Oh, wow, another double solidify. I said double solidify before because I meant 2 turns in a row of it, but that was just 2 of the kids getting solidified. This is horrible luck. So the bosses have their attack order deshuffled for fairness, but that doesn't extend to solidify, so that's just poor luck for Kirk. Cave boys.
And 1 teddy.
Oh. Sprayed a torrent of sewage. Okay. As far as those can go, that's not actually that bad.
God. Oh, gross.
So everyone's nauseous. I saw that Gurk used a Horn of Life to cure that, which is kind of wild to me. But must have just been planning to do it that way, or figures don't need those anymore. That was not as dangerous as it could have been.
Now, with the Horn of Life, using it in that case, does it heal nausea and recover PP and HP?
No, it only cures statuses. It only will give you HP and PP if you were actually dead. It doesn't even do it if you're diamondized.
Man.
Shadow and his friends. Prayed for Shadow and his friends. Right, 2 prayers left for Gurk. Still not guaranteed. Paula's HP is ticking down. Oh, that peanut cheese bar. I really respect the level of safe strats that Gurk's using in here. Oh, and Staticpulse is getting a really long, unfortunate butterfly. But I think this is final prayer.
After a wipe. Yeah.
Alright, I think that's gonna be it. So we have, what is it, like 89 seconds or something left for Gurk to get through here. I don't think Static's gonna find Magicant to beat it in that time, but if he does, then GG Static, and if he doesn't, then GG Gurk.
We can do GG's for Gurk, because...
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely.
He did... I mean, he at least... Yeah, he's not going to die at this point, so... Yeah. GG's Gurk!
Looks like I didn't grab Staticpulse's timer quite right. I just noticed that.
Yeah, the 1 after the hour mark, it kind of...
Oops.
His numbers are a little bit larger than Gurk's.
Officially GG Gurk.
Official GG's! Get your GG's in chat.
Looks like Staticpulse is forfeited. So, well played, well fought, Staticpulse.
Indeed.
Oh, and we got a
And
Gurk.
congratulations, Gurk.
Congrats on the run.
Thank
What did you think about the seed?
I struggled a little with my stubbornness to not set a new save point. But yeah, I mean, it was about what I would have expected from the practices that I did.
Cursed. Pretty cursed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that really. I mean, the thing I had the most problem with was spook.
I think both of you did really struggle with that. We were wondering, after you wiped the first time, were you just like, I just got to go get Shield Sigma, and then I'll be back? Is that kind of what your thought process was?
That or 5th Sank, yes.
Okay.
I thought, if that might have been the Stein Banana, I would have probably just done that. Or I was just going to do enough levels to get Shield Sigma, especially considering it did like full strength rock-ins 3 times in a row after the second or third one.
And with the thunders from the assistant, that's a lot of pressure on that one shield to turn.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. I did take a reflect, I think, too. A Franklin badge with.
Yeah, I saw one.
That's super fun. But yeah, I was glad I got the hint about the zombie paper when I did, because I was probably gonna go back there and do Moonside, but didn't need to, as we found out.
If you did, apparently, I just saw in your spoiler log that would have been Diamond Dog in the tunnel, so that's great.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Pokey was hiding in the sea, so.
I did almost bail. I'm trying to think of where else. I thought about bailing in Pink Cloud with the ghosts and having somebody dead. Jeff was KO'd, if I recall correctly. And I decided to use a couple life noodles there, which, was a little scared about doing, but it worked out. I must have been really close to getting Plague Rat to do, considering how quickly it went down on the refight. But I guess, I don't know. I mean, I was only doing like 20-30 damage per hit, so maybe not that close.
Yeah, I wasn't counting. It was a lot of... You were both just dying to a lot of things. The accelerated bosses were really mean.
Yeah, I noped out of the police station when I saw it was Trilliage, because that should have been too far the first time.
Yeah, it looked like both the bosses...
It was tough.
Both the bosses and the enemies just seemed to like skip all of Peace Forest Valley, so there's just a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, I totally just missed the credits, but there were none of the first 6, which kind of messes with their thought process as far as the acceleration is concerned.
Yeah, the post-Gygas bosses were just like a parade of early game things. There was like Mondo Mole and Frankie Stein and Everdread.
Also a shout out to, I saw this in one of my practices, getting Supormas from the cops fight. That's always fun.
Yeah, and a solo nest seed where you're already inventory slammed. That's great.
Yeah. Hey, Static.
Yo.
Hey, welcome in. Well fought.
Hello. Man, that was the toughest seed I've done in a while.
Yeah, really rough start to that. You were both having a really hard time finding a place to like get a foothold.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad to start with because the mines were more or less okay, but getting Hypnosis locked on Alien Arcade and pulling out, getting eaten by a rat after defeating Thunder and Storm and Moonside was... getting ping pong between those two was not fun.
Yeah, I think if you watch for McGurk's meme at the end of the credits, that you might have similar feelings there.
Once you got past that, it wasn't too bad until Gygas. Electro Spectre was something else, and then I just got numb and couldn't do anything. So I was just searching for Adjacant, and then searching for one before Adjacant, and then whatever Sank 5 was. Adjacant, and then whatever Sank 5 was. Adjacant, and then whatever Sank 5 was. I guess it was. Well, it could have been.
Sorry, Bo.
Yeah, I still had the monkey cave and yogurt dispenser open.
Yeah, I didn't. I just got the yogurt dispenser right when you won. Yeah, I just got the yogurt dispenser. I skipped out on checking the cult house since I already had the Franklin badge, so I didn't think there would be anything scaled up in there. I had the Franklin badge, so I didn't. That would be worth getting, especially since I felt pretty behind after the alien hypnosis lock there. But doing something 2 kind of helped out. It seemed to give Ness enough speed to outspeed the alien, and then was able to sigh him down before getting slept lock. And of course, getting the OK pendant from the guys outside the giant step was actually very useful.
Oh, I didn't notice that you got one there. I was going to ask if either of you went back to that shop to get the OK pendant for Department Store Spook.
Yeah, I think I had one already.
Yeah, I think GURK did, and then he had 2 on him when he was just Ness still.
Yeah, I got the second one from the
Traveling
traveling
entertainers.
guys. Obviously held on to it. I don't remember if I bought a third. I definitely had 2.
Yeah, I went back and got one for Paula later, but I didn't think to get one for Ness for dealing with the alien, at least at that point.
So I believe I got one when I went on my way to do fire spraying.
Yeah, the Tinda shop there had one.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, that's right. I did have some money, but I think I got a weapon and I got a bat, and I think I got some like armor, like a coin or something, maybe, and I didn't have enough for the OK pendant.
There was some speculation, Static, when you bought the fresh eggs. Were you money farming, or was it to have nutrition to go back and fight the spook in the arcade?
Yeah, that was entirely to eat.
Okay.
either the Moonside boss or for the arcade boss so I could use my Psi for offensive purposes.
Is that like your preferred heal food for these, or is it just on the way?
It was the most convenient one I could think of at the time.
Okay.
Those fresh eggs heal a good amount, and they're very cheap, and they're in an easily accessible location. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't think the bakeries and On It would have anything like useful, and the only other one I think would be Foresight, which was also open right away. So I figured the fresh eggs were probably the best bet, at least as far as item healing went.
I see. Yeah, it's been a really long time since food shopping was in the meta, so it's interesting where people do it when they're doing it.
Yeah, I probably would have been able to beat the Thunder and Storm fight at Moonside had I had more HP healing in my inventory, so I could have burst them down, and more importantly, burst the rat down when it came out, and that would have been a good EXP gain even if the item there was useless.
All right. Well, thank you both for hopping in and talking about the seed. I also see in the chat, Sarah says GG, rematch next week. So looking forward to that. Speaking of that, we still haven't figured out what the schedule is going to be for the last things. I'll be getting a thread in for everyone who is on the last 3 matches. We'll see if we can do a triple. If we can't, it'll be something else. So anyone who wants to know what the schedules are, just hang out in the Earthbound Speedruns Discord. We'll get them posted. And if you want other speedrun Earthbound stuff, I would like to mention again that the Ancient Cave Tournament is starting up on Friday. So hop into the Speedruns Discord if you'd like to try qualifying for that. Anyone else have anything they'd like to say?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks for setting it up today.
Yeah, thanks for running.
Today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for running.
It'll be good finals for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever ends up there is going to be very, very speedy people. And with that, I have to find someone to raid. Does Des like being raided? I wasn't sure about that.
Oh.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Everyone say hi to Des. She runs Earthbound all the time.